It's you cannot choose who is congratulate you when, and that's it.
Okay, Wakako, just down here. Sorry.
Thank you, President Wakako Yuki from the Yomiuri Shimbun. At the opening of this session, you talked about alignment of past, present, and future. One thing, obviously, the visionary Pierre de Coubertin didn't foresee was to have female presidency, let alone, of course, the ancient Olympic Games, where female presence was somewhat limited. And what is your view? Why these kind of diversity was necessary or good thing for the Olympic movement? You came in as a president with a manifesto saying unity in diversity. And is this the culmination of your reform of the Olympic future?
As I said many times, Olympic agenda is not about one item or one topic. It's like a jigsaw puzzle where everything has to come together to give the Olympic movement new relevance and credibility, and diversity and gender equality is one of these pieces of the puzzle. But I think it was a very important signal yesterday to demonstrate that we are a truly global organization. And I was I still am the 9th president of the IOC, and 8 of them have been from Europe and one from United States of America. And this is not really reflecting the reality of a global organization like the IOC with the 206 national Olympic committees on all 5 continents. And therefore this election is more than anything else this commitment to globalization and to be a global organization.
Okay, lady just here. Okay.
President Bach, in your remaining days, will you work on calming the continuing drama between WADA and USADA, which seems impervious to settlement?
Remaining days sounds very dramatic. I hope you refer it only to the remaining days of my term. This is an issue between WADA and United States, and we are informed there about contacts which have been established there also through and with USOPC, and I hope and I guess that these contacts and that will finally contribute to find a solution and to calm down this heated debate.
Okay, we're going to have 2 here, this gentleman and the gentleman there, then we'll come over to this side.
Mr. President, in Mumbai, you told us that the impact of the climate change would be dramatic for the Olympic Games. Now we heard the other day the Los Angeles delegation talking about the effect of the wildfires. What is your impression about this impact of the climate change currently?
This climate change will not only and does not only affect sport, it affects us all, and it's indeed a major challenge for the future of all of us. We have in sport already a couple of years ago, I think it's now 4 or 5 years ago, also given our 2 future host commissions the task not only to deal with the candidates of the interested parties for organizing the games, but also to study the impact of climate change on sport and on the Olympic Games. And there are, I think, 2 very different aspects. The one is summer, the other one is winter. In summer, I guess, sooner or later that climate change will have to lead in a change of the international calendar of sport. This is not only about the games, and we have seen at the World Athletic Championships in Qatar, the marathon, what it can do and what risk it can pose to athletes. One of the reasons why then the IOC moved it from Tokyo to Sapporo. But it cannot be limited or restricted to this. I think with the international federations in the outdoor sports, and in particular in the endurance outdoor sports, there we will have to look into the overall calendar, and then to embed then the Olympic Games into this calendar. And there the question is really whether it can still be in August, and in some parts of the world it's already clear that it cannot be in August. This is why my successors will have to find timely solutions. In winter it's different. There it's less about the health. There it's about the sport as such. The sports on snow, and there I think we also had in Mumbai also first report of the future host commission elaborating on this and speaking about the dramatically diminished number of potential hosts for Olympic Winter Games, hosting both the snow and the ice events. And then they needed some more time to study how to address it. It can be the rotation system was under discussion, then maybe a clearer separation between sports on snow and sports on ice. The overall program of the Winter Games was under discussion, but there the future host commission needed further and more detailed studies and time, and this is why we wanted to secure the future of the Olympic Winter Games with this double allocation and even half a triple allocation by giving the privilege to Switzerland for 2038. So there, from the IOC point of view, we have gained some time for the Winter Games, but the international winter sports federations, they will not have the privilege of having so much time without risking the cancellation of many winter sports events on snow.
Okay, gentleman there, we're going to come across here. Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. President. Thank you so much for all your work and your ideas and your activity that you did during this long period. If I can ask, what are your feelings? What suggestions did you give to the new president elected this morning during the breakfast?
First of all, in the Olympic movement, the task is never accomplished, the mission. There are always open questions. We are just speaking about climate change. We have done a lot, I think, in the fight against climate change with Olympic House, one of the most sustainable buildings in the world, reducing our carbon footprint by 30%, with Paris reducing it even by 54%, way ahead of the Paris Agreement, by establishing the Olympic forest, and. But this is not enough. we have to go further, as we just have exchanged. I think we have done a lot. It was mentioned here many times for gender equality. And all the figures you saw were related to the IOC. If you look into the figures for international federations or for national Olympic committees, it looks pretty much different. We have 2 presidents of international summer sports federations which are female, and 1 is leaving now in April. And there remains 1. And if you look then into the delegates of assemblies of national Olympic committees or international federations, you realize what there is still to do. It has also been reported today the progress we have been making with regard to doping. But this will be a task forever. Therefore, my feeling is, as I said, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, my feeling is that I have given to the Olympic movement what I could give, and this gives me a good feeling and makes me relaxed, and I'm also relieved, very much relieved to see the unity which the election result yesterday demonstrated, so that therefore this important pillar for the success of the Olympic movement has even been strengthened, and this is why you see me happy, relaxed and relieved here.
Okay, we're going to go to Rachel and then Graham. Yeah, Rachel Axon now.
Thank you, Mr. President. Rachel Axon with Sports Business Journal. Over here. Other side.
Over here, President.
You're right.
Okay.
I know you met with Kirsty this morning to discuss the transition, how this will go. This is relatively new in IOC terms, this period. What will that entail in terms of your duties, her duties, how she comes on board? And given how much you've had a close relationship and mentorship with her, how do you see her win, or maybe even the start of her presidency, as a continuation of your own and the initiatives you put in?
First of all, I think I owe also part of the answer still there to you. This morning, this breakfast was not about giving advice. It was more the technicalities and dates of the transition, and there it will entail then discussions and presentations by each of the IOC departments. All the directors are already prepared for this. It will entail regular conversations with me. I'll always be there for questions, but she then will have to have these discussions and conversations with the departments and with the directors on a personal level, and without the old guy still hanging around, so that she can shape these discussions, and that also our colleagues there can speak freely and do not think now they have to justify something because I'm still sitting there. So it should be a very open exchange. And with regard to the partition of responsibilities, I have assured her that from today on, no decision will be taken over her head, that this will happen in full consultation. And if there are different opinions between her and me, her opinion will prevail. It's then her call to make these decisions because she will have to live then from 24th of June with these decisions, and to make this as efficient as possible. We have already also fixed the first board meeting, executive board meeting, on the very first day of her mandate on 24th of June, so that in case there are complex decisions to be taken, which may need further consultation or for which you need the approval of the executive board, that then we can postpone it until then. And we have interim already another executive board on the 9th of April. So if by then there would be decisions which would need a decision, that we could take there on the 9th of April, and this will be a remote meeting. But we agreed this morning that she would be present in person to lead with me together then this executive board meeting on 9th of April, following the same agreement I've just been mentioning.
Yeah, Graham Dunbar from AP just here. Yeah, and then we'll go to Shin, and we'll come back over to this side.
Thank you very much. Graham Dunbar from Associated Press. After the lovely week here, it's back to reality in Switzerland next week, and on Tuesday off to court for the verdict in the latest trial of Sepp Blatter. Mr. Blatter, another one who was mentored by Horst Dassler and who also once had a succession plan and a protege in place, which either he couldn't or he wouldn't let go and put it into action. And he never got this kind of glorious farewell that you've been able to enjoy every day this week. When you say today you're happy, relaxed and relieved, do you feel like you've got your exit strategy, tactics completely correct?
No, as I said, this election as a demonstration of the IOC as a global organization with the highest good governance standards. I would not like this to compare to a situation I don't know how many years ago in another world sports organization whose name just escaped to me. There we have seen there a situation in an election with 7 candidates in a fair procedure there for everyone, with a presentation of arguments and proposals, and then a vote of the IOC membership, of the voters on these arguments and proposals having been presented by the different candidates. And the result is a demonstration of a good governance and a demonstration of the IOC as a truly global organization.
Yeah. Shin.
And this is fitting very well and aligned with what we want to achieve with Olympic agenda.
Yes, Kyodo.
Thank you very much. Shinsuke Kobayashi from Kyodo News. Apart from the transition, what are your plans for the next 3 months? Will you be working hard in full throttle as you used to do, or you will be winding down, or you'll be traveling around, or let us know if there is what's in the pipeline.
Work, transition, and some travels there to which I had agreed before. So it will be a mixture of everything, but I cannot really see the winding down. This will start on midnight of the 23rd, but before, again, I'm committed to make this an efficient and smooth transition. This will require some work. We will also have to see, and that's what we discussed there this morning with the president-elect, whether there we will visit one or the other event together, or whether she would already go alone, what would make sense. And this will be then a topic when we will meet for the first time in the very near future in Lausanne to work then on more details of the agenda.
Okay, going to take 2-3 more questions. Lady at the back there, gentleman here, and Rachel that's been waiting for a long time. So, yeah.
I'm standing up because I'm in the last row. Mr. President, it seems like that you have set a pattern that the IOC president is an Olympic champion, and now we have another Olympic champion as your successor. Do you think it's going to be a must in the future, first of all? And second of all is that we know your schedule until the 23rd. So how is your agenda looking like from the 24th? And will you be accessible for advice if the new president actually wishes so? Thank you.
Let me start with the second question. From the 24th, I will not be accountable for my agenda anymore. I can even wake up, hopefully, in the morning and decide on a short term what I want to do or not to do, and do not have to justify it that I changed my mind. So let's see what's going to happen. I guess on the 24th it will be sleeping, and then we will see further. With regard to the first question, I don't know, whether it will be a must. I can only say what my experience was, that being an Olympic champion helped me tremendously. When there you meet political leaders, business leaders, other NGO leaders, they look at you with different eyes. If you come to a meeting and you do not need to explain why you are there. And you're not just another chair of another NGO who considers to be the most important of all the NGOs, and then having to explain. You don't have to defend the cause, you are the cause. And this helps, and most of these people then are more curious about you than you may be curious about them, because you have their CV in the preparation of the meeting. But most of them have questions then about your sporting career and how did you manage and so on. But you never need to justify why you're sitting there as a president of the IOC. And this advantage, I'm sure also the president-elect Kirsty Coventry will enjoy and will benefit from.
Okay, our Kenyan colleague just down here.
Thank you. Elias Makori from Kenya. Mr. President, during your leadership, I'm right here.
Sorry,
I'm right here. During your leadership, Africa, got the opportunity to host the Youth Olympics next year. Now we have an African IOC president. Do you see the Olympic Games coming to Africa sooner rather than later? Maybe 2036, 2040? And what will you tell African leaders now that Kirsty is in charge? Because in Africa, when one of you is elected, expectations are high. When you elect a president, we expect highways to our villages if you come from the same village. I know she'll be under a lot of pressure in Africa. What will your advice be to both her and the African people? Thank you.
Well, with regard to the Olympic Games coming to Africa, this is to my successors. There I have a very good excuse now not to comment on this. We know that there is interest, but first of all, it's up to Africa. You cannot impose Olympic Games on Africa. There has to be a clear intention to join the continuous dialogue and to entertain then this dialogue with a project, and then Africa, like any other continent, will have a fair chance. With regard to high expectations on her, I think she's used to live with high expectations. That's an experience again which helps you, having been an athlete. There you know how to deal and to cope with high expectations, and also to know that expectations are only a pressure if it's your own expectations, and if there you have a clear compass, and this is what she has, then I have no doubt she can cope with these expectations and can even exceed these expectations Africa may have in her leadership.
Okay, we're getting last question, I think, here to Rachel Pretty from L'Equipe.
Thank you very much. So as this is the last question, it will be in French, because I think you will miss President speaking French. Maintenant que vous avez la garantie de l'État français pour les Alpes 2030, quand est-ce que vous allez signer le contrat hôte olympique, et est-ce que c'est vous qui allez le signer ou est-ce que c'est la 10e présidente? Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. On a reçu cette lettre du Premier ministre et des deux présidents des régions. C'est maintenant dans les mains de notre département juridique qui évalue ces lettres. Et après, ça sera présenté au comité exécutif ou à la présidente élue. C'est une de ces questions qu'on va décider ensemble. Et si on est dans la situation de signer, là, elle ne peut pas encore signer. Moi, je le signerai avec son accord.
Actually, I see Brian, so I can't resist the last final question from Brian Pinella. Yeah, just there.
President Bach, appreciate that you've just told us that you look forward to sleeping in on the morning of June 24th. But summer is bustling right ahead after that. Can you share? Do you have any interest, or is there any sport, pastime, or hobby that you're looking forward to potentially diving into that you haven't had the time to do over these past 12 years?
First of all, I will attend the Champions League final in Munich on 31st of May and hope that Bayern wins finally at home. And then for other, come on, you with the Blancos from Real Madrid, you will not even make it to the final. And then in summer I will see, but it also depends greatly then on the president-elect and then on the new president, because then she, of course, will have priority to decide. And I think it would not be fair, at the very beginning of her mandate, again, if the old guy, would there hang around, and then she should decide where she wants to go and how we are dealing with it. But my interest in sport, and this is what I'm looking forward then to enjoy sitting there, enjoying sport, enjoying the athletes. I hope that they even would then still speak also with the honorary president, so that I can keep this contact with the young athletes one way or the other. And then sitting there, enjoying and not having any responsibility for what is happening on or off the field of play will be great moments.
Perhaps golf, some other sport? I want to know about what you would like to play in the years ahead. For fun, for relaxation.
I know myself, playing sport for relaxation, I'm not at this stage yet. So for me, sport is still pretty competitive, and so I don't know. In fact, I've been thinking about golf, but having seen many of my friends playing golf, and then all of a sudden they had nothing else anymore in their mind. You could spend, very inspiring evenings with them. You would ask, how was it at the 9th hole? And then you would not need to speak the whole evening anymore. And whether I have a talent for golf, I also do not know. So let's see. So far now, it's more a little bit about endurance and running around in the mountains and doing something against the weight and enjoying nature.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President. I think I speak on behalf of everyone to say thank you very much for always making yourself available, even to difficult questions. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your time here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will terribly miss you. All the best and see you around.